Hello ladies and gentlemen, CaptainShack here, and welcome to Arena Commander. Finally, we are getting a chance to play some Star Citizen. I mean, we've been waiting for the dogfighting module forever now. I'm walking around my new hangar. I just picked up the Hornet. Which one is that? The one way over here. This is the normal Hornet, this is the training Hornet. I got the new one, not really that new, the sensor dish one that you can actually spot targets with. Now you can't fly it yet in Arena Commander because I don't think you can fly any of the variants. You can only fly the training ones that they're gonna give you if you own a base model. And you can't fly all the ships, none of the big ships are in yet. This is 0.8 release of the Arena Commander. The big ships won't be coming out until 2.0, and then they're gonna have a boarding and first-person shooter portion of this module coming out in Arena Commander 3.0. So we got some time on that. Right now, 1.0 is what we're all interested in. That's going to be the big release. It's gonna have the multiplayer and the leaderboards. Let's go ahead and get aboard the Hornet here. Now, real quick, I'll show you guys something. Let me run back over to my pedestal here where I log in. Now, there are some bugs. I'm gonna warn you guys right now. If you haven't played this yet and you're looking forward to doing it, there are some serious bugs. Getting into this was a pain in the butt. If you guys watched the live stream over on TheXpGamers, what was it, a few days ago? There we go, got my helmet on. When you first spawn in, you're gonna see a pedestal nearby with a helmet. It's gonna look just like this. I didn't realize this at first. This is how you access Arena Commander. You've gotta grab your helmet off its little stand here, and then you can go over and get into one of your ships, and I believe it's the first ships in the rows that you can fly. My Aurora with its missile tubes on the top, and then you've got my Hornet. Now, let's go ahead and take the... Ooh, should we take the Hornet or should we take the Aurora? I was actually having a lot of fun with the Aurora. I just can't say no to those 6 barrels of justice on both wings right here. So the bugs though. The last bug that I was having was I'd try to log in and it would say connection lost every time I was trying to load into the hangar. I had to delete the users folder inside the Star Citizen install folder to fix that. That's actually how I fixed all the bugs that I've had problems with. Logging in problems, not being able to get out of fighters and stuff. They're definitely... It looks like they had to rush the release just because people wanted to play it so badly. So it is a 0.8 version of an alpha of an alpha. So I gotta give them a little bit of credit. It is absolutely gorgeous. Some of the animations like I'm having right now are some clipping issues because I guess I'm not perfectly centered in the cockpit. That's happened a few times. This is in medium graphics. So if you're wondering, why does it not look as good on his game as it does on mine? Well, this is on medium so I can show you guys without fraps slowing me down, and so I can actually do some dogfighting with a little bit of skill. I'm not the best. Let's go into let's do Dying Star. There's 2 maps to choose from, Dying Star and Broken Moon. Dying Star is a pretty fun one. Lots of asteroids and stuff to ram into on accident. And then Vandal Swarm, this right here is your game type. Now there are 2 available, Free Flight and Vandal Swarm. If we go back to the menu before that, I'll show you guys. They've got the Spectrum match, which is going to be the multiplayer aspect, not out yet in 0.8. That will be out for version 1.0 though. So we're gonna dive right in to a Vandal Swarm match over on Dying Star. Let's go ahead and launch in, and I'll give you guys a feeling for how long the loads are. They're a little long. I think that's more of a CryEngine 3 thing than just a Star Citizen thing. ArcAge is built in the CryEngine 3, and the load times are a little bit long when you first get in, but once you're in, everything is golden. So, what can I say about Arena Commander so far? It's a lot of fun. Combat is pretty fluid. The weapons are really bassy. They sound good. They look good. Enemy ships rip apart in a way that is really, really satisfying. And you're going to see that here when I'm kicking the shit out of some of these pirates. Your ship will rip apart in ways that are sometimes absolutely hilarious. I had the enemy tear off one of my wings and I watched it go flying in front of me. I've had my gimbaled thrusters hit and I could actually feel the difference in flying my ship. Hell, I even had my cockpit, and I'll go into third person mode when this loads in. I've had my cockpit carved with gunfire away from the rest of the hull of the fighter. And me in the cockpit just floating away, alive and fine, but without any control. All right, so we got systems online. Warlord and Vixen are my wingmen. After the first 5 seconds, they'll come in. Let's do this. I'm gonna cycle targets with R, enemy targets. My allies have just flipped around. I'm gonna go ahead and start banking to the starboard side. There they are. Now, I haven't tried playing with the joystick yet, and I am looking forward to giving it a go. My guns are gimbal mounted, so they have a little bit of a degree of auto aim, of like turning. So I'm not quite sure how that's gonna work out with the joystick. Target's down. You don't wanna go through the wreck of an enemy because it will damage your ship. You'll hit his parts. You can actually blow parts off the ship. I'll show that here. This guy's actually shooting at me. I'm gonna do a pass. I did a little damage to his cannon on his left wing, and he hit my starboard shield. As you can hear, Joanne, my robot, I just blew off a piece. Looks like a part of his wing just came off. Now, you see that triangle? I believe that's some type of auto aim for the turrets. If you can keep the reticule in there, you'll be able to take them down pretty quickly. I've only been able to get to the 7th wave in this. That seems to be the sweet spot right now for the community. It's where things get really, really difficult. And by then you probably used up your missiles. Now missiles, let's talk about those. Missiles are, based on the weapon you have, it will depend on the weapon, the ship you have, will depend on how many weapons you have and how many missiles you have. That was redundant. So here we go, here's the target. I'm gonna use my middle mouse wheel to get a lock. Once I get within range, I think it's like 15,000 meters. There's 15,000 meters, starting to lock. I now have a solid lock, and I fired my missile.
Shields charging.
Missiles are one-hit kills on these guys, and these low-level guys. There's his bits floating away. While we have a few seconds, let's take a look at the ship in third person here. You can see on the back wing there, I've got some markings from where the gunfire hit me. I've got some flashing going on. I've actually had electrical fires inside the fighter. Sparks and smoke have filled the cockpit.
Scanning.
I mean, the detail is really, really impressive. Now, on the 2nd or 3rd wave, they'll actually start using missiles against me, and I'll have to start dropping flares. Flares and chaff. So let's lock this guy here.
Collision.
And get a little closer. Give him the gun. Now, how the ship's actually controlling this reminds me of maybe X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. It's not super sim, hardcore sim like some people want out of the box.
Scanning.
But I'm okay with that because, we're not gonna collide, Joanne, I got this. Because you can actually flip off. See, it says couple G-safe and comm stab, which is some type of stabilization. You can flick those off and go into full-on control for your ship. Newtonian physics. If you take off the coupled portion, G-safe keeps you from blacking out, pulling G's too hard. So you have the option as a really skilled pilot that knows his ship. He knows how far he can push his ship and himself so he doesn't black out. And he can get a better turn rate, he can drift a bit. I mean, there's some really interesting things that I think you'll be the good pilots. I am not one of these pilots yet. I'm gonna need a lot more practice. There we go. That you'll be able to do. So right now, if I hit cap locks, I can kill my thrusters, or kill my my stabilization, my inertial dampeners pretty much. And now I am drifting backwards. This guy's not actually chasing me. So we'll turn those back on, but I can drift. You can pull that Battlestar Galactica, like flip around and drift. You can do some interesting stuff. Let's get in range of this guy. All right, not quite in range. There we go. Put the fire on him. Now I'm gonna be doing some testing with a joystick later in the week and hopefully see how it works out. Hopefully the sort of computer-assisted auto-aim, once you get the target in a certain degree in front of you, will help out. Because right now, if it doesn't, people with a mouse and keyboard are going to have an advantage over people with a joystick, and that is no good. It's gonna piss off a lot of backers of this game if that's the case. I don't think that's gonna be the case, though. Chris Roberts is well aware of what people want out of this, so I don't think he's gonna do that. Now what I'm talking about when I talk about gimbal-mounted weapons is this right here. See how the guns are rotating? That's a lot easier to get accuracy with a mouse than it is with a joystick using one of those thumb control devices. Yeah, the Hornet is so badass. You can find the Hornet, the 300i, and the Aurora. The Aurora is good times. All right, let's go ahead and engage these guys. Let's lock you. Lock, 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 lock. I have an incoming missile myself.
Collision. Flare.
Looks like I took that hit on my starboard side.
Scanning.
Got one behind me. He's getting a lock on me. You just heard the sound effect. He has a lock. Missile is inbound. Gonna avoid. Using my...
Propulsion.
He hit
Is
me.
offline.
Oh, I'm dead. Not quite sure what he hit me with, but I went from full shields to dead in one good shot. Now, I've taken missiles before, and the shields have held. So I'm not sure what that was. We'll go ahead and respawn.
Anvil Aerospace.
You do get to respawn right
All
away and jump
systems
right back into the
online.
fight, which is nice.
Bogey.
You don't have to start the wave over again.
Scanning.
There's my allies being shot up pretty good. I'm coming. I'm on my way. Close the distance. Give them a little fire. You can overheat the miniguns. So you gotta be careful of that.
Alert. Systems overheating.
There you go. So you just overheated a bit. The top turret is having trouble tracking this guy, so let's get right behind him and give him the miniguns. Miniguns track really well. There he goes. Notice they're taking a lot more damage now. And using missiles against me. Whoa! Well, we just collided on the left-hand side. We've got...
Offline.
I can hear the sparks, but you can't see them yet. Let's switch to third person. There you go. You see the damage on the wing. And my wing is actually missing. I'm missing that minigun, I believe. Yep, minigun was torn off. Gonna lose more than that if I don't get back in this fight.
Collision.
Of course, you guys know if you're streaming and you're talking about the game and you're doing this kind of commentary, your skills degrade a bit. Some say about 25%. I'm not that good to begin with right now. I need lots more practice. Looking forward to the multiplayer for that. So, oh yeah. Ooh, looks like my right-hand gun is overheating pretty good. Oh, let's use that space brake. We're gonna ram into the station. AI's pathfinding has been pretty damn good. The only time I've seen them crash into something was in the other map. There is a giant laser drill, and I had an AI chase me past it, and I barely cleared the big red laser beam, but the enemy did not, which was great for me because he was ripping me apart pretty good. There's another bug. You can see my minigun isn't making sound effects anymore. And he's dead. Let's see if we can...
Collision.
Whoa! That was close. Oh, there we go. I tapped it. I gotta get down how big the ship actually is compared to the cockpit. Let's go ahead and respawn. All right, so that is, in a nutshell, Arena Commander so far. In the next version, we're gonna see the leaderboards, we're gonna see the cooperative version of this, so I can actually have two buddies of mine, you know, flying as my wingmen, working together to take down the Vandal Swarm and see how far we can get into the waves.
Scanning.
I say we just give this guy a missile as he comes in. Lock him, lock him, lock him. It's coming right at us. Missile away. Bye-bye. Good times. This, I'll tell you right now, even with the bugs and all the issues I'm having, I am so
back in the mix.
Excited.
I'm back.
For this title. This is my most anticipated title right here. Version 2 is going to bring in the large ships, and version 3 is going to bring in the first-person shooter boarding action that they're going to have in this. I know the community is excited. We're going to get a community guild going. It's going to be fun times. So, anywho, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for more gaming goodness, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I'm going in. Damn sexy game.